Here we go. Hello, online crew. So today's topic, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So this is really, really, really important, what I'm going to share with you today. And if you've got a pen at all, I've got 5 things that I'm going to share with you today about how to build trust really quickly. Because if you don't have trust, people aren't going to buy from you. So when you are trying to build on social media and you can build trust a little bit quicker, then it's going to speed up the conversion process with somebody buying something off you. So our goal on social media, when we don't necessarily know the people on the other side of the screen, is to build up trust really quickly. Because I'll say it again, people that trust people will buy from them. Like, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Make sense? Those of you that have found my live, well done, because I'm half an hour later than I normally am live, because I've just been hosting a webinar. So I had to push my live, back by half an hour. So welcome to those of you on Facebook, Instagram, my free group over here. You're on Instagram over here, Facebook, YouTube, etc. So let's have a really good talk about this trust and how you can build it up quicker with the things that you do. So if you're watching me live, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, what part of the globe, where are we reaching today. If we haven't met before, put the word down new. I am your online crew captain, which just means I am here for our amazing online crew community of network marketers, social sellers, those in MLM, etc., that you want to build your business on social media, but do it in a way where you're using modern social media strategies and being a human before a marketer, because that's what I'm all about. And that becomes very important when we're talking about building trust quickly. You can build trust really quickly by being a human more than a marketer. People that are a marketer more than a human, you'll probably lose trust. If you are spammy, if it's all about you, you don't care about your prospects, you're talking more about you than you're caring about your prospects, you're doing more of the talking than asking questions, you're inviting people to groups without their permission, you're sending them links without their permission, you're doing all of that kind of stuff, the trust, you're destroying trust. You're not building it, you're destroying it. So let's have a chat about the things that can help you build trust. Okay, super, super, super important. Those of you in my coaching community, you'll know that I talk a lot about this in our trainings. This can help really speed up the results in your business when you know how to build trust quickly with people. Okay, so I'm giving you a little bit of a snippet of some of the kind of training that I share in my coaching community with what I'm sharing here today live. So who's here? We've got Cherie. Hello, Cherie. We've got Dean. We've got Jane. People are here because they trust you. Exactly. Thank you, Dean. Hello, Terry. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Beth. Great to see you guys all watching. Anyone watching from Instagram as well, hello to you guys. So, ready? 5 things. Number 1. First thing to build trust comes from, well, there's 2 angles to this first one, okay? Trust does come from results, okay? So do you have results in whatever you're selling? So if you're in a network marketing business, social selling business, do you have results in that? Because you can speak to those results and you trust people that have got results, don't you? Think about that for a minute. The people that you follow, the people that you look, the people that you don't even know, but gurus that you follow, why do you follow them? Because you trust you know what they're doing because they've got results, correct? Am I right? Put yes in the comments if you know that I'm right. Trust become really quickly when someone's got results. What if you don't have the results? Okay. My suggestion to you would work hard to get the results. So, whether it's a product, if you don't have a result on the product, go and get a result on the products that you're selling. If it's business, like you're selling a business opportunity, then work hard to get some results in your business opportunity, because trust is built by results, okay? So let's say that you don't have those results yet, okay? So the trust is going to come from a personal conversation. So you can build trust really quickly by sharing results. You might not even have a conversation with somebody, but trust is already there because they've already proven that they can do what they're selling. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if you don't have that, then trust is built by a conversation that you have with somebody. So this is all number 1 out of 5. Okay, so it's either your results will immediately attract that trust, or you've got to have more personal conversations. So for you, if you don't have many results yet, it's the personal conversations that you're going to have. Okay. And it's how you have those personal conversations that we're going to get into deeper. But you can't sell more of your stuff, product-based, service-based, or have people join you in your business opportunity unless you're having a personal conversation. So if you're on social media creating a lot of content, but you don't have many conversations going on, then you've got to go and create the conversations to create the trust, to create the purchase. Okay. I hope that makes sense. That's all tied up in number 1. Okay. So go and work hard to get results, or go and work hard in prompting more personal conversations if your content isn't creating the conversations. You've got to take responsibility for that. Too many people hide behind social media and do reels and stories and whatever. They're not having any conversations with anybody. If that's the case and your content is not creating the conversations, take some responsibility to go and actually start some conversations to go and build your business. You can't build a business unless you're talking to anybody. Okay? Number 2, though, when you're in these personal conversations, it's the quality of the questions you ask. I'll say that again. Number 2 is the quality of the questions that you ask. And you've got to ask questions. So you can build trust really quickly when you ask good quality questions. So your goal in anybody that you're talking to build trust quickly is do less of the talking and more of the asking. But it's not just asking for the sake of asking, it's asking good quality questions. So if you're looking at your messenger or your DMs in Instagram, whatever it is, and there's more blue, which is you, well, it isn't on an iPhone anyway, than responses, like it's all you and you get a little bit back and you're doing a whole lot of talking, a little bit back, you're doing it all wrong. There should be very little from you and a lot more from the person that you're talking to. So if you evaluate previous questions, previous conversations with your prospects, or you're thinking about a conversation that you had with somebody, if you did all the talking, you're doing it all wrong. You're not building trust that way. Okay, how you build trust is that you ask good quality questions and you get the person talking about themselves. One of the most innate human needs from humans walking the planet is that they want to feel heard and seen. That is your job to build up trust quickly, is to make people feel seen and heard. How do you do that? You ask questions about their life. It's not about you. It's not about what you want people to see. It's not about the group that you want people to join. It's not about the link you want people to watch. It's not about the presentation that you want to share with somebody. It's not about you. You ask for permission for those things once you've had a conversation and asked about the person and what they need or what they're looking for or what intrigued them or what did they resonate with. Okay, it's all to do with the quality of your conversation, and that comes from questions. Oh, do you mind me asking what interested you in that? Or, thank you so much for your comment on my post. Can you resonate with my story? What's going on for you? How is it? Excuse me. How is it that I can help you? Or what's going on for you? Like, you ask good quality questions to find out about that person. So if your initial interactions in this industry is that you're just sending somebody a link, inviting somebody to a group, giving them a presentation, but you haven't had a conversation with the person about what they need or they want or what's important to them, then trust is going down, 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 down. People don't want to be pitched until you've established a need for them, and then you can tailor it, which I'm getting to. Then you can tailor what you've got to sort of their solution. So number one is about obviously getting results or having a personal conversation. Number two is about the quality of your questions. You ask a question and you listen. There is two of these and one of these for a reason. Stop using more of this and use more of this. So ask people about themselves. Okay, so number two is asking good quality questions. But number three in this equation is going deep and not wide. And if you're one of my VIP students or you're in my coaching community, you know exactly where I'm going with this. For those of you that don't, what do I mean by go deep and go wide? When you're talking with somebody and you're like, oh, Helen told me to ask questions, I've got to ask more questions. I've got to talk less about myself and what I do and what I want people to see. And I need to ask more questions. So you don't get into Messenger or DMs and say things like, oh, so how's the family? And, how's the kids? And, how's work going? And what are you doing for Christmas? And, how's this? Like you're having 6 different conversations. That's going wide. Going deep is staying in the lane in the one conversation. So let's say somebody starts talking about, how they're feeling or something like that. You dig deep in that one conversation. You don't then ask about the kids or the holidays or whatever, because you're just going to have all these surface level conversations that go nowhere, and you're going to have no idea how to bring up your business with these people or the products that you have with these people. Okay. So when somebody's talking about something and it's like, how have you been? Or I'll give you an example. So on the weekend, I was talking to somebody who's had a health issue. I knew they had a health issue, so we're talking about the health issue. And I'm like, oh, how's that going? I asked all sorts of details about that particular health issue without prying. I mean, I know the person reasonably well to do that. And I just kept going, oh, so how's this? And, how did that go? And we stayed in the lane. And then it got deeper. And then I got deeper. And it's like, oh, so how, whatever, we had a big, I'm trying to be a little bit cryptic because it was a private conversation. So we just stayed and we talked about this one thing, but we went deep with that one thing. And she ended up saying to me at the end of that conversation, you're just so encouraging. Like, thank you. And thanked me for the conversation that we had, because I was so interested in her journey and how she was going and how she was recovering and how did it all go and whatever. Like I was actually really genuinely interested in, what she was sharing. Like I'm just using that as an example you can have really deep connections and a relatively quick conversation in the scheme of thing, but have a real feeling of trust. Do you see what I mean with that? When you're surface level with, so what do you do? And let me put it this way. Have you ever met somebody for the first time at a party or a gathering or something like that, and you get into a conversation about something, but you have a really deep conversation about that one thing, and you walk away going, I feel so connected to that person. Like they're so amazing, or they were so interesting, or like I really resonated with it. With that, you get that feeling of trust and you get that feeling of human connection because you talked about one thing and you went really deep. So what I'm trying to highlight here is the difference with you connecting with prospects and being surface level versus picking up on something that they say and continuing to ask because the quality of your questions and things like, oh, tell me more about that. This is the stuff you should be writing down, by the way, if you're not like these kind of things that I share with you. Or tell me more about that. Oh, what do you mean by that? They're the kind of questions that help you go deeper. Oh, tell me more about that. What do you kind of mean by that? Or, oh, okay. So, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. With questions like that, tell me more about that. Well, what do you mean by that? Or, oh, can you explain that a little bit more? Like, I'm intrigued by what you mean by that. And you go deeper and deeper and deeper. So that person is feeling that you are super connected to their conversation. You actually really care about them, their world, and what they've been experiencing because you are staying in the lane. That builds trust like that. I've had conversations with people that I've met for the very first time. And yeah, just exactly what I said before, walked away from that conversation going, oh, I really like them like that. That was an amazing, deep conversation. And yet you only chatted to them for like half an hour. Can you just put the word agree in the comments if you actually know what I'm saying when have you met those kind of people that you've only met them once, but you have this amazing conversation and you just feel so connected to them, even though you've met just for the first time. That's what you want to create with your prospects. And you can only do that by the quality of your questions and going deeper with something that's important to somebody else. So start talking to somebody about their kids, and then get intrigued by the kids. Also, what are they doing and where are they going? To get somebody talking about their kids, they will love you for that because you're then asking them questions about something that's important to them. So ask more questions about something that's important to that person, not you, not what you want, not what you want to share about your products, not what you want to share about your resources or your links or your groups or, anything like that. Get invested in the person, build the trust, and then they'll get interested in what you're doing. Okay, this is not as hard to achieve as you think. You just don't have the skills or the training or being taught this. Okay, so that's number 3, go deep, not wide. And what I mean by that is in the conversation, okay? Number 4, you make the prospect feel seen and heard by repeating back to them what they shared with you. I'll say that again. You make your prospect feel seen and heard by repeating back to them something that they've shared with you. An example. Okay, so from what you were telling me about, the blah, 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 and you actually repeat what they've told you. Subconsciously, that person is going, they heard me. They understood me. They get me because you've just repeated back to them what they said to you. So they're not doing it consciously, but subconsciously they're going, they actually heard me. Because you're repeating back their own words to them. So when you're talking about a product or a business opportunity, it's like, oh, okay, so what I'm hearing is repeat back to them what they shared. And they're like, yes, that's exactly what I'm struggling with. Or from what you've shared with me about, time and your work and what you said about this and that and whatever, repeat back to them what they shared with you. I think what I do in my business would be a perfect fit for me. Because what you were sharing about, excuse me, XYZ is so similar to my own story. So it's not all about you. Everyone just talks about themselves. It's selfish. When you can actually repeat back to somebody what they shared with you and you can relate your story to their story and use their story with your story, now you're building trust. Are you still with me with these tips? Is this helpful? If this is helpful, put helpful in the comments. Well, thanks for watching from I can't even spit it out. Anyway, okay. So, and number 5, you offer solutions by asking leading questions. So those of you in my coaching community, again, you would know what I mean by a leading question. What's a leading question? A question is broaching the topic of your products, your service, your business opportunity without actually saying, you should have a look at my business. What I do would be really good for you. You don't tell somebody what would be good for them. You ask them a leading question like, okay, so what you shared with me about XYZ, I really think what I do could be a great fit for you. Have you ever considered, starting an online business? Have you ever thought about trying a natural solution to those issues that you're having with XYZ? Have you ever thought about, would you ever consider? Are you writing this down? Have you ever thought about, or would you ever consider? That is what we call a leading question. You're basically broaching the subject and asking very politely if they would consider looking at something, or, have they ever thought about it? And depending what they say next is where you go next. But people will respect you for that. That's kind of a respectful way of asking somebody to look at what it is that you have, rather than, oh, yeah, what I do would be really good for you. How do you know what's good for somebody? Like, the way you guys approach, bringing up your business is everything. So when you bring up in a way that is really respectful and you ask kind of a leading question into it, that builds trust, because it's not telling somebody what they should do, or they don't feel like you're pushing something on them, like a link or a presentation or a group or whatever. Oh, you should join this group because this, whatever. Like, don't tell me what I need to do or join or do or whatever. It's like you respectfully ask, have you ever considered like a natural solution to XYZ? Or would you ever consider, with what you're already doing, but starting something on the side, like on the internet, like a side business? Because that's what everyone's doing these days. I've started that and it's working really well for me. Maybe that could be a solution to repeat what they said to you. Okay, do you see how this all fits in with building trust really quickly? But when you dance around the edges and you do so-called build rapport and you stay on the surface level, you'll never get to the level of conversation to bring up a solution to somebody's need, because you'll never get to the need. So when you build this skill of how to talk to people, having really good quality questions, going deep and not wide, being respectful, repeat what somebody, says back to you so they feel seen and heard, and then offering your solution in a way where you ask a leading question rather than just dumping your stuff on somebody, people feel respected, they feel seen, they feel heard, and they trust you. Does this all make sense? This is one of those of you that know me well. I go, are you really hearing me? I hope I'm giving you some golden nuggets here in this live, and I hope you are really hearing me, because if you execute just 50% of the tips that I'm giving you in this video, it can make a massive difference in your business. I was even talking to a team member, I'm not sure if she's on or not, earlier today in Messenger, and she screenshot a message that she shared with somebody, and I gave her feedback, and I'm like, oh, I probably would have said this, and I would have said that, and I would have said that to make that person feel whatever. And she's like, you know what? I actually know all of that, Helen. I actually know better. And thank you for the reminder. She said, I actually know all that, and I'm still not doing it. So thank you for the reminder. Sometimes you just need to hear this again and again and again and again to build the skill, because most of us come, on social media because we want to build our business online, but we don't have any skill to have the proper conversations, to know how to go deep, how to ask a leading question, how to treat people the right way, and to build trust quickly. Like, we don't have this skill. That's why you come and listen to trainings like this and get little golden nuggets and go, oh, okay, that's how I can build trust quicker, or that's how I can get out of the friend zone, or that's how I can build, bring up my business in a really respectful way. So this is all learnt stuff, and just because you hear it from me in today's video doesn't mean you're going to go and execute this perfectly and your business is going to turn around. You need to practice every one of these 5 things that I've just mentioned. You need to practice over and over and over and over again to get really good at it. Okay? So I hope this was helpful. Give me your feedback. Agree. Beth. So just checking up on a couple of comments here. I had someone the other day I think you meant say to me, I can't believe you remembered that about my kids. That's amazing. Actually, that reminds me, I had, and it is somebody in my network marketing team, so it is somebody closer to me, but did any of you see my chocolate recipe yesterday? I shared the recipe to my famous raspberry chocolate bombs. They're so good. So if you want a better version of, like, you got a sweet tooth, you want some chocolate, but you don't want to go for the naughty chocolate with all the sugar in it, go to my personal profile on Facebook and check out the recipe for my raspberry chocolate bombs. Anyway, she put in there, it was something like oh, at least that would stop you buying your Lindt raspberry chocolate. And I'm like, how does she even remember that? So somewhere along the line, I've obviously shared online or in my community or on my Facebook or something like that. One of my favorite types of chocolate it's a Lindt chocolate called Raspberry Intense. Do any of you know that? Like know of that chocolate? Like it's Lindt, so it's a high quality chocolate, and it's called Raspberry Intense. So it's dark chocolate, but it's got raspberry infused into it, and I love it. And I know I've probably shared it somewhere a couple of times, but I haven't shared that over and over and over again. But she commented on my recipe, at least that would stop you, buying that chocolate. And I thought, gosh, how does she even remember that that's my favorite chocolate? Like it actually really took me back that she remembered that. So see what I mean? What number on my notes was it? Number 4. Make people feel seen and heard. When you repeat back and remember things like Beth just shared in the comments on Facebook, when you repeat something or you remember something about their children or their grandchildren or what they like or what they don't like because you've paid attention to their social media, it speaks volumes. I can't share with you how much that speaks volumes, and that's how you guys get to stand out from the crowd. Remember stuff about people, remember details that they share, ask them questions about things that's important to them. And this is how you stand out from everyone else on social media. So thanks for sharing that, Beth. Terry, helpful. Jane, helpful. Julie, helpful. Beth, have you considered? Exactly. Kathy, very helpful. Feel, felt, found. Absolutely. And Cherie's done an amazing summary. Like if you're watching on Facebook, I know you guys are on Instagram over there, but Cherie's actually summarized all these 5 points. So let's see, build by results. If no results, tick, Cherie. Quality of the questions you ask, tick, Cherie. Go deep, not wide, tick. 4, make the prospect feel seen and heard by repeating something. Tick. Offer solutions. But Cherie, you've done such an amazing job of summarizing that. That's in the comments over on Facebook. Well done. Dean's going to make my raspberry chocolate bombs this weekend. Good for you. Very helpful. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Good info. Thank you for sharing that feedback there on Instagram. So, yeah, really take that on board. I would actually watch this video again. This is the kind of video I would click the 3 dots if you're on Facebook and save it. You just scroll the feed on Instagram and just watch this video again and take notes. If you execute 50% of what I'm sharing with you in this video, you will be building a better business. You will be building connections quicker. You will be building trust quicker. And people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So be that person on social media. Okay, this is my last live video of the week. I hope you've got, value from all my videos. We put all my latest videos of the week up on my website. That's helenmartinonline.com. If you ever want to see what my latest trainings are that I've done for that week, just go to helenmartinonline.com and they're all sitting there, as well as access to free trainings and all sorts of things. So have a fabulous weekend, whatever you're doing, and I will see you next week for more training. Bye.